No kids, no Baggus, no teacher, no bus. On the morning of May 12, 2007, Ridgway, Oregon awoke to an ordinary spring day. The air carried the scent of wet pine, and the streets were busy with commuters hurrying to work. At Ridgway Middle School, students gathered in the parking lot, excited for a field trip that had been planned weeks in advance. 14 children, accompanied by their teacher, were scheduled to visit the Evergreen Nature Reserve. It was meant to be routine, a simple excursion. Parents hugged their children, reminding them to listen to the teacher and enjoy the trip. Before the bus pulled away, a parent snapped a photograph. The picture showed the students standing in front of the yellow school bus, some smiling, others impatient, eager to leave. Behind them, the bus gleamed under the gray sky, the familiar symbol of safety and routine. That photo would later become infamous, a haunting artifact, because it captured the very last moments the children and their teacher were ever seen. The bus left Ridgway Middle School at 9:15 a.m. By 11, the staff at Evergreen Nature Reserve expected them to arrive. Noon passed, then 2 o'clock. By mid-afternoon, it was clear something was wrong. Calls to the teacher's phone went unanswered. The bus had not entered the reserve. Panic spread quickly. Parents, expecting to hear about hiking trails and packed lunches, instead faced silence. By evening, law enforcement had been alerted. The route from Ridgway to Evergreen was straightforward. A single highway, no detours, no confusing turns. Officers checked every mile of that road. They checked side routes, country paths, forest trails. Nothing. A massive search began almost immediately. Helicopters flew overhead, scouring the forest canopy for the bright yellow of a bus roof. Divers combed rivers and lakes. Volunteers walked shoulder to shoulder through fields. Not a scrap of metal, not a piece of fabric, not even a skid mark was ever found. The bus and everyone on board had vanished without a trace. For the families, disbelief turned to horror. Parents filled the school gymnasium, demanding answers. Some held on to hope that the bus had broken down somewhere remote, that the children would soon return. Others were consumed with rage, convinced something darker had taken place. The media descended on Ridgway, broadcasting the mystery to the entire country. How could a 16-ton vehicle filled with children disappear in daylight in modern America with no witnesses and no evidence? Theories surfaced almost immediately. Some speculated the bus had plunged into a hidden sinkhole, swallowed whole by the earth. Others suspected a mass abduction, perhaps by a cult or organized group, though no ransom demands were ever made. There were whispers of government experiments, of cover-ups, of alternate realities. Internet forums exploded with speculation, some theories more outlandish than others, but all circling the same chilling fact. 14 children and a teacher had vanished, and no one knew how. For years, investigators pursued leads. Truck drivers were interviewed. Local residents were questioned repeatedly. A few claimed to have seen something, a bus on a back road, headlights vanishing into the forest, but nothing could ever be verified. Every promising lead ended in disappointment. The case went cold. Families held vigils year after year, lighting candles and reading aloud the names of the lost. Ridgway became known not for its forests or its quiet charm, but for the mystery that hung over it like a shadow. By the 10th anniversary, hope had faded. Parents grew older. Some passed away without ever learning the fate of their children. The photograph taken on that May morning became an icon of tragedy, a reminder of innocence stolen and questions left unanswered. The case slipped into the realm of unsolved American mysteries, alongside vanished planes and missing ships. But in Ridgway, the wound never healed. Then, in 2025, everything changed. In a small thrift store 2 towns away, a clerk sorting through donated boxes found something unusual. It was a silver bracelet with tiny charms, a heart, a star, and the letter K. The item seemed ordinary until it was compared to police records. It matched perfectly with the description of a bracelet once worn by Karen Mitchell, one of the missing girls from the Ridgeway bus. The engraving was exact. After 18 years, a personal belonging of one of the children had resurfaced. The discovery reopened the case. Detectives traced the donation box, searching for its origins. It had come from a storage unit cleared after years of unpaid rent. When police investigated, they found something chilling. Inside the unit were belongings linked to the missing students: backpacks, jackets, school supplies. Among the items was a notebook. Its pages were yellowed, the ink faded, but the words were clear. It appeared to have been written by one of the missing children. The entries described fear, isolation, and confinement. They mentioned being taken off the road, driven to a hidden place, and kept under watch. The child wrote about rules, about not being allowed to leave, about whispers of something called the program. The details were fragmented, disjointed, the writing of someone terrified and confused. The final entry ended abruptly. "They're coming. I hear the door." The journal provided more questions than answers. If the children had been held somewhere, where was that place? Who was responsible? How had they managed to keep an entire bus hidden for so long? And why had traces of the children only now begun to resurface? To this day, no official explanation exists. The bus itself has never been found. None of the children or their teacher have returned. Only fragments remain: a bracelet, a few personal items, a notebook that ends in silence. Investigators continue to search, but time has eroded the trail, and every answer seems to lead only to more uncertainty. What happened on that spring morning in 2007 remains one of the most disturbing mysteries in recent memory. How could 14 children and 1 teacher vanish in broad daylight, leaving behind no wreckage, no remains, nothing but a photograph? Was it a crime, a disaster, or something stranger, something beyond understanding? The Ridgeway bus remains a ghost story wrapped in tragedy, a reminder of how fragile safety can be, how quickly the ordinary can turn into the unimaginable. 18 years later, the pain has not faded. The photograph remains, the last smiling faces before a journey that never ended. And the unanswered question still echoes through Ridgeway. Where did the children go? And why have they never come back?